All right, lesson 61. I am the light of the world. Here we go. So I'm really excited about an update for all of my viewers who actually have watched since the beginning. I have like an update on a situation, which I feel like goes well with the lesson for today. So, beautiful explanation in the beginning, the kind of description of how it's arrogant for us not to claim that we are the light of the world. It's arrogant for us to kind of throw away the gift and to not recognize it, even though it's not a judgmental arrogance. It's just the flip side of like not being worthy of being the light. And I have to give thanks for my journey in this life already, where I'm ready to be the light. And I did have a moment of practicing. It's like I can remember and I can't. Oh, yeah, I was sitting for a moment just in the direct sunlight, nursing Justine as I am now. And the light was just hitting me, and I was able to practice with the sunlight coming in and out. And then later in the day, I had a kind of counseling session where my client was discussing their desire to step more in the light, have more joy. And it came through in the prayer that I did, that it was like that the light is coming in and out, you know, like we're the vessel, and the beautiful description. So the practicing for today was to spend time in the morning. It was like first thing in the morning. And we tell ourselves, I am the light of the world. That is my only function. That is why I'm here. And I've been really focused on this function word because for some reason, that word and the word goal have been very meaningful for me in these practice lessons this time this year. It just feels like if there are many options in my mind all the time for how I'd like to respond, how I'm perceiving things, that's how it feels to me. Like there are options that I'm now more masterful at selecting which ones I'm going to go with. Function, when I make a decision about what my function is and I energize that decision, I feel like that's a really helpful guiding force. Like I've made a couple decisions recently that I've never been able to make as clearly and executed as consistently. So I'm doing these lessons every day. Thanks to you listeners. You're holding me accountable. And I'm doing a meditation that's 31 minutes every day. And at the beginning, I was really hesitant about that decision. And I didn't think I could do it. But now that I know I can I can fulfill the decisions I make, deciding my function feels like a very significant decision. And I'm noticing that it's harder for me to hold that viewpoint at this point, but I'm really interested to energize that I know my function. And so part of my contract is to remember my function. And here we're being told, I'm the light of the world. That is my only function. That is why I'm here. And so morning practice period is to repeat that and then spend some time thinking about what comes to you from that. And then we're to do that throughout the day as much as we can, not necessarily for long periods, but then again at night before we go to bed. So kind of like bookends of our day for sure. And what I wanted to share as an update was very interesting because I don't know if you remember my bakery story where I felt triggered by the fact that I was not being offered the half off after 3 p.m. of all the morning baked goods. That it was inconsistently being offered. Some people never offered it. Some people told me I had to buy 2 things. Some people offered it with 1 thing. So I remember the day the girl charged me full price and then It's like I knew her rule was buy 2, and then I was like, so I have to buy 2? She said yes. So I wrote to their Facebook page, and I wouldn't say it was a rant because I think it was a bit polished, and yet I knew there was manipulation behind it that I felt annoyed. I believed I felt annoyed by their inconsistency. And I'm aware that I was annoyed because I wasn't accepting. I didn't really feel comfortable to like have the conversation because I was feeling judgment coming back to me because I was judging the girl. It was kind of messy. And so I wrote first a request that they get on the same page if possible and even have a sign. And then I didn't get any response. And so I wrote back again and I even used the words, upon further reflection, I realized that my peace is not connected to anything in the world, and changing the world is not the solution. I really enjoy your business. I'm happy to pay full price. I'm just going to let it be and accept what happens and continue to go there. Like, that was my decision. And I really did that. And I just hadn't been going as frequently recently, but I went today. And I had the most wonderful experience with somebody else who I don't think I've ever seen there, who was just so sweet to Justine. And then I bought something, and she gave me the full price. And I just really lightheartedly asked, because I was like, I'm not going to ask. But it came out so effortlessly and lightheartedly. Like, are baked goods half off after 4? And then she said, oh, let me ask. And then she asked, and somebody said yes. And so she gave me half off. And then she said, oh, I'm so sorry. You know, I'm so glad you asked, because my brain at this point is whatever, fried. And just the way she was saying something like, I'm so grateful you asked, it kind of showed me that I had done my healing. Then I got home and I got a response from the owner, which hi Justine. You have Daddy's slipper? Thank you for letting people know I'm using Daddy's slippers. Mine are at the shoe repair. Thank you. So I got a message from the manager who, like I was saying, who actually came to the front of the shop when we were leaving. And I didn't know he's the owner, but I'm putting it all together. And I got a message from him after like a month or something. And he said, oh yes, you're right. All baked goods, morning goods, after 3. I will talk to everyone. And then he said, I really liked your upon reflection. And he was just so graceful. But what comes to me is the lightness of the whole thing. The lightness of the way, yeah, this is like a revolving door. The lightness of the way I was, the worker, the experience, and then the manager wrote me today. I don't know. The whole thing showed me, it's like, it's healed. It's been healed. You had a healing. You did your work. You forgave. And you let it go. And then whatever, I didn't care. But I also was happy I asked, because I felt comfortable to ask. Anyway, asking is freedom. It's all good. But I wanted to share that update with all my listeners because it feels like a miracle. And not because it went my way, but really because of the vibration of the whole experience today. And the fact that I saw him and he wrote me on the same day. So, Justine, final words. Grumpy face? Here you go. All right, say goodbye because you're very sleepy with one nap.